A very good evening to you. On tonight's show, we take a look at the St. Baldrick's event. Also, we preview the Rebels' spring football practice and, of course, crown this week's Player of the Week. All this and more right now. It's Game On. Welcome to Game On. I'm Austin Inning.
And I'm Marcus Path. You know, it's not every day that you see folks line up to willfully give up their hair, but that's exactly what's happening now thanks to the St. Baldrick's Foundation. The foundation exists with a noble mission of curing childhood cancer, and according to their website, they've already shaved well over 31,000 heads here in 2013, Austin. Reporter Katie McClain has more.
Las Vegas Wranglers faced off at the Orleans Arena against the San Francisco Bulls. But even though they won the game, this story is about something even greater.
The Wranglers have been involved in St. Baldrick's for 7 years now. This is my third year as part of the program. We got our lead from the McMullins. They've been doing it for 7 years now as well, and it's a great partnership.
Our whole team tries to do the best we can and help raise as much as possible. So it's a fun thing to do, and you know, anything we do to help out, we try to.
The Wranglers participate in the St. Baldrick's charity event to help kids with cancer by shaving off their precious locks and raising over $20,000.
We always say that this is our team and this is our town, and this is a great way for us to show that. The McMullins, that's the family that owns McMullins Irish Pub across the street. They're a huge partner of ours, and so for us to get involved and help them raise money, it just means the world to them, and it means the world to us.
We get to have a lot of fun. We work for a hockey team. For a living, we're surrounded by a sport. Sometimes it's important for us to ground ourselves and become a part of something like this, and it makes us feel good, you know, like we're giving back to the community. For all these players that are cheered on every week by the fans, it's cool for them to be able to give back and make a difference.
Not only being invested in the sport, but being invested in the community is what makes a great team. For UNLV TV's Game On, this is Katie McClain.
A story like that makes you think, doesn't it? If you'd like to learn more about St. Baldrick's and how you can get involved, visit their website at stbaldricks.org. But right now, we'll turn our attention to the basketball hardwood, and it's appropriate given college hoops is getting set for one of the best events of the sports year, and the NBA playoff race is heating up. Sitting down right now with Austin is former NBA and ABA player James "Jimmy" Jones. Guys?
Thank you, Marcus. Yes, joined by former ABA NBA player James Jones. James, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, pleasure.
Let's talk about your career. Obviously, you started in the ABA.
Right.
Talk about the experience and how you got to know that the ABA was even a league.
That was funny. I went to Grambling State University, and I was playing. I played 4 years. You had to go to school for 4 years back then. And the first time I heard of the ABA, honestly, is when the guy came to see my coach and talk to me about signing the contract.
Really?
And yeah, I didn't, because news didn't travel as fast then as it does now. So, you know, I mean, you're a senior in college, and man, you're having fun, and so, I mean, I thought I was going to play pro basketball maybe as early as my freshman year.
Really?
Yeah, because I played with a guy named Willis Reed, who was a great New York Knicks. Any guys that know about the Knicks, history of the Knicks, he was a senior, I was a freshman, so all the scouts came to see him play, and they saw me play, and they thought, wow, this guy might have some potential. And so, you know, when that guy came to me and told me they had drafted me #1 in the ABA, you know, that was the first time I'd heard the ABA.
Now, did you have any expectations going in? Obviously, since you haven't known about the ABA, what was your expectation going into the league?
Well, you know, I just knew it was basketball.
Right.
And, you know, when you grew up poor and you go to college, you know how college people, most of them don't have money, but they don't seem like that at UNLV. Look like they have lots of money here. But, you know, when you get a chance to do what you've been doing all your life,
right,
and make money doing it, you know, it doesn't matter where you're playing. That's the way I looked at it then. You know, basketball wasn't as big back then as it is now. And the NBA, ABA, you know, what different? All I know is I'm getting a paycheck. So you know, I'll be going to work. I mean, playing basketball for a job.
Let's talk about the offseason. That's especially a big difference now from today back then.
Yeah.
What did you guys do in the offseason?
Well, most guys worked, and I don't think I ever worked. You know, I tried to make the little money last over the year. Let me give you an example of what it was like money-wise back then. 1967, I signed a contract. First year was $15,000. And to give you some perspective on that, school teachers at that time made about $3,000 a year. So it was a big difference, right?
Right, it's a huge difference.
But look how things have changed over all these years.
Yeah.
School teachers are still pretty much about that, and pro basketball, pro sports is a lot bigger. But like I say, you know, it was just, basketball was always fun. You know,
Right.
I mean, you hear guys talk about it all the time, let's just have fun. It's fun competing, and so, you know, I just wanted to play. I mean, I just wanted to play basketball. I mean, I majored in physical education. I was going to be a teacher, a coach probably.
Right.
But then when the basketball came along, you know, I had to write a couple of schools and say, well, sorry, I'm not going to be taking the job, you know, going on to play pro basketball.
So a couple seconds left. Last question for you. How is the NBA different today than it was back then, besides the money that we've talked about?
Yeah, the players are a lot better today because, you know, each generation of players to me gets better. And the biggest difference, I think they're more selfish today because of the fact that, you know, it's all about getting that big contract.
Right.
And whereas then, you know, we all play for the team. But like I said, the guys are, you know, I'm back to a fan today myself. So I'm a big fan of sports, just like I was before I started playing pro basketball.
Perfect. Well, James, thank you so much for joining us in studio today. Moving now from the hardwood to the field, reporter Stephen Marsh went inside the Rebels' spring football practice to find out what we can expect from the Rebels next season. Have a look.
A nice March afternoon at Rebel Park is the setting for what hopes to be the start of a turnaround. Spring practice has started for the UNLV football team, and despite the last few seasons of disappointing results, a new sense of optimism fills the March air as head coach Bobby Houck hopes the growing pains will finally pay off.
I think we've got a pretty good football team. I'm excited about it. Obviously, all teams this time of year have to get the work done so they can improve and be competitive in the fall. But you know, for our first time here, I think we have a more veteran team and a team that looks good in their uniform.
Houck has Tim Rosenbaugh as his offensive coordinator and Tim Houck, yes, Bobby's brother, as his defensive coordinator.
Well, it's good to have Tim Houck here, and it's good to have Tim Rosenbaugh here. They're good guys, and you know, obviously Tim Houck had some other opportunities, and he chose to come here because he really is excited about what we're doing and wants to be part of it.
The season is still months away, but getting back out onto the field for practice brings joy to everyone around football camp.
It's good to be out here with the footballs and the equipment, and this is, I love spring practice. It's a chance for us to get better and improve.
Practices take place 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and are free to the public. Spring practice culminates on April 12th with the 3rd annual Spring Showcase right here at Rebel Park. For Game On, I'm Stephen Marsh.
And Marcus, really UNLV football season coming up, a lot of expectations, especially after a year like last year where we lose to a D2 school, now having to come back and try to compete this upcoming year.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year for Coach Houck and the Rebels, and you know, having a personal relationship with Coach, I know he's prepared for it. He's excited about it, and a couple of new coaches on staff this year, including his younger brother, Tim Houck, who spent a number of years in the NFL. So a lot of things, a lot of positives to look forward to this season as well. Hopefully they have a big year.
Exactly. Well, time now for a quick break, but when we get back, Marcus sits down with Sin City Boot Camp founders Trevor and Josh. Stay tuned.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
What you doing, Dad?
My favorite thing.
Really, Dad? What are you doing?
Paying bills. Every month a stack of them come, just as regular as the rain.
What's this one?
That's a special one, son. I pay it first.
How come?
It's money for my retirement account. I put some money aside each month just like I was paying a bill.
Wouldn't you rather buy something?
I don't want to work forever, and I don't want you to have to support me in my old age. In a way, I'm buying peace of mind. I'm on the installment plan.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
Double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
We had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
And welcome back into Game On. I'm Marcus Paff, sitting down now with Sin City Boot Camp founders Trevor Celso and Josh Konachek. Now, guys, I want to talk a little bit about boot camp first of all. Give the audience at home a little bit of a background. What is boot camp, and how does it differ from your traditional gym workout?
Well, our boot camp, we work out typically outdoors in the park. We also have an indoor facility, and it differs from traditional gym workouts, and it's a lot more diverse, dynamic, and I would say more intense. We have lots of weights, lots of equipment, boxes that you can jump on, heavy barbells, we lift them above your head, or we do all kinds of cardio because we're outside, so we do a lot more, and it's a lot more intense than going to the gym and doing 3 sets of 10 on the bench press or something like that.
Absolutely. Maybe we could take a little bit of a look at what actually goes on out in the field. I think we have some footage right now that we could throw up for the folks at home. While we're doing that, what are some of the different goals that you hear from the people that come in and want to partake in one of these classes?
Well, typically people want to lose weight. But then you get, with ours I found coming from personal training, where almost everybody wants to lose weight, is we get a lot of people that want to build muscle, get stronger, become more athletic, because our training is a little more intense than just your weight loss training.
Absolutely, and you get to look at it on your screen right now, some of the stuff that's going on. It looks like some power clean, a lot of power lifts involved with what you guys do.
We do a lot of Olympic lifting. Our focus is around barbell lifting, Olympic lifting, yes.
Absolutely. Now, how did this idea come about? I mean, it seems like a lot of the non-traditional workouts are becoming more and more popular right now. I know CrossFit's at an all-time high in popularity, and I hear about boot camp everywhere I go in the Vegas Valley. Where did that idea come from?
Well, me and Josh were actually running a boot camp when we worked at a gym as a personal trainer before, and we were doing like a little boot camp once a week, and we got it pretty popular in the gym. A lot of people were coming. It was getting packed, and we realized that we could kind of break outside of that. At least we believed we could, and pretty much simple as that. We did, and we've been doing it for the past couple of years now.
Sure. Well, and I alluded to it a moment ago. The rise in popularity of a lot of these alternative workouts. Have you guys seen that over the last few years? Have you seen more and more people coming in and trying to find out what all this is about, and if it's the right method of workout for them?
I would say yes. I mean, just for example, there's a competition, the Fittest Man on Earth competition, which is put on by CrossFit and Reebok, and in the past 4 years ago, how many people were there in it?
Like 25,000.
And there's already over 100,000 people signed up for it this year. That's just in the span of 3 years.
Wow.
And,
every year it gets bigger and bigger.
I mean, I can't give you statistics, but from looking at social media and things like that, I've definitely seen it. It seems much more popular now than when I was introduced to it.
Real quick for everybody at home, how do they get involved? Where do they got to go to sign up?
Let's go to sincitybootcamp.com. You can try us out. 5 classes, each $1 a piece. 5 classes, $5 to try us out, and give us a call, 518-BOOT, and we'll get you started.
Absolutely. Hope the folks at home will take advantage of that. Trevor, thanks for coming on today. Josh, same to you. Appreciate you guys coming in studio. We'll have to step aside for a quick break, but when we come back, more of Game On. Stay with us.
You could choose to join a gang. You could try the latest drugs. You could even choose to drop out of school. You can try to avoid the difficulties in life with a quick fix, or you can face them head on. She did. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Welcome back from the break. Well, recently the Board of Regents meeting included some updates on the UNLV Now project. Board of Regents discussed the upcoming UNLV Now project that will bring changes to the university. Not only would the stadium benefit the university and revenue, but the local hotel and resort industry as well. With the current 20,000-seat arena project made by MGM in the works, also the UNLV 60,000-seat event center and stadium would be considered as complementary to MGM's project rather than seen as competition.
I think these are two really separate business deals and very different projects and very complementary.
The UNLV Now project is taking a lot of time and planning through stakeholders as well as the Board of Regents. With the successful construction of the stadium, it's expected that tourism in Southern Nevada will increase the potential projects that can result from the new stadium on UNLV's campus and bring tourism, including UFC fights, more college basketball tournaments, college football bowl games, NFL exhibition games, and a whole lot more.
Well, these projects always take a long time. This is a big, complex project. This will be the largest public sector, private sector partnership in the history of the state.
Now, the stadium will hopefully break ground within the next few years and be completed by 2017. That is, if all goes according to plan. Now let's send it over to Austin, who is standing by with Capoeira instructor Page. Guys?
Thanks, Marcus. Joined in studio today by Capoeira instructor Page. Page, thanks so much for being here with me today.
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure.
Let's explain the team here that you got with you.
Sure, yes, definitely. Right here we have joining us Curamim, Cara de Água, Iquena, and Palhaçada.
Yeah. Okay. Page, well, thanks so much for coming. Like we said, let's talk a little bit about the origins of Capoeira, what it is, how it got started.
Sure. Yes, when the Portuguese colonized Brazil, they brought with them slaves from Africa, different countries, Angola, and these slaves brought with them their culture, for instance, their cooking, religion, and their martial art, which is Capoeira. It developed throughout the centuries as today the current form, and you see it all today on the streets of Brazil.
And how can we get involved with Capoeira here in the Las Vegas Valley?
Okay. We have formal training at the Cambridge Recreation Center. We also have rodas, which are when we play in the center with the music, and we exchange the movements with our other teammates. And that's at the parks around Las Vegas here. So.
Perfect. Well, can you guys give us a little demonstration of what you guys are all about?
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, I'll get out of the way for you guys. You just let me know whenever you want to come back in.
Wow. Oh, see, see, see. Oh, and now, now, now. See, see, see. Oh, and now, now, now. Oh, see, see, see. Oh, and now, now, now. Oh, see, see, see. Oh, and now, now, now. Oh, and now, now, now. Oh, see, see, see. Oh, see, see, see. Oh, now, now, now. Mas hoje tem mañana. Mas hoje tem mañana. Oh, sí, sí, sí. Oh, sí, sí, sí. Oh, na, na, na. Oh, sí, sí, sí. Oh, na, na, na. Vai você, Dona Maria, como vai você? Joga bonito que eu quero ver. Dona Maria, como vai você? Jogar cancama que eu aprender. Dona Maria, como vai você? Vai você. Dona Maria, como vai você? Joga bonito que eu quero ver. Dona Maria, como vai você? Capoeira na cadeia.
Keep right.
Dona Maria, como vai você? Vai
This is so scary, just
você,
let you
vai
know at home
você.
right now. This is so scary.
Vai você. Dona Maria, como vai você?
Guys, thank you so much for coming into the studio with us today. Yeah. Thank you for the demonstration. Pajay, thank you so very, very much. Sorry to get you right there. Right. But time now for a quick break. But when we come back, it's this week's Player of the Week and upcoming events. Stay tuned.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they'd die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults 15 to 29. And one person dies from melanoma every hour. It's time. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be?
I'd love to see Paris.
I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
My daughter, married and happy.
I want to see things the way I used to.
Chances are, someone you love may one day be affected by macular degeneration or glaucoma. Log on to seeabettertomorrow.org or call 1-800-437-2423 to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration. Call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
Hey, back on Game On. Time now to check in on our UNLV Player of the Week. This week's honoree, it's women's basketball player Rajan Varon. Bianca Valdez has more.
UNLV freshman Rajan Varon had a career-best performance this past weekend when she scored a career-high 26 points in UNLV's win against Reno on March 2nd. UNLV won the game 80-63, leaving the Rebels undefeated against Reno on their home court. Varon connected on 12 out of 16 shots from the floor. Varon and fellow freshmen scored UNLV's final 14 points. Varon is a 6'2" forward from Serra High School in California. Varon beat her career high of 19 points that she set for herself in the previous Wyoming game on February 23rd. Varon was also named the Mountain West Women's Basketball Co-Player of the Week. She is the first UNLV freshman to receive this honor since Kelly Thompson in 2009. Since becoming a starter on January 30th, Rajan Varon has averaged 12.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, and a 53.8 shot percentage. Rajan Varon, you are Game On's Player of the Week.
Thank you, Bianca, and congrats to Rajan Varon for being this week's Player of the Week. Now it's that time of the show where we take a look at what's upcoming in the world of UNLV athletics. We start with the Rebel baseball. They'll be playing against the BYU Cougars at Earl Wilson Baseball Stadium March 18th. Their next 4 games after that will be in San Diego against San Diego State, but then they will return home to UNLV to play against the Air Force Academy on March 29th, 30th, and 31st. Then take on the Sun Devils of Arizona State on April 10th. Then on the 12th, they face off against UNR. Women's softball will be playing their Rebel Classic tournament at Eller Media Softball Stadium against Texas Tech and Tulsa on March 22nd and 23rd, and see them again at the same place, going against Fresno State on April 5th and 6th and the 7th. Coming back against New Mexico on April 12th and 13th. If you want to catch another tournament, women's lacrosse will be holding their 2nd annual Desert Lacrosse at Viper Park in the northwest part of town. The tournament begins March 22nd and ends March 24th. UNLV will play NAU on the 22nd, UNR and Biola on the 23rd, and LMU on the 24th. 4th. And Marcus, obviously a lot of events upcoming here in the sporting world of UNLV. What are we looking forward to?
I say, well, you just rattled off a
so
number of events. Yeah, a lot of great things. You know, the spring sports is a great time of year with baseball and softball firmly underway. You know, you see it across the country, not just at UNLV. The big leagues are underway. It's a fun time of year. So get out to the parks, Eller Media Stadium, Early Wilson Stadium, and enjoy yourself. It's a good time of year. Take in the weather, have a hot dog, have a soda. You know, have a good time.
Sounds going to be baseball is obviously kicking off here. You've been covering baseball.
Yeah.
How's it been going so far for these guys?
Great. They're off to a great start. You know, the season started with a big 3 out of 4 series win against Tennessee, and things have really snowballed for the squad since then. They've taken on some great talent this year, gone up to Stanford, which is a top 15 program. It's nice to see Tim Chambers in his 3rd season as head coach really step up the level of competition and try to take the team to new heights.
Perfect. Thank you, Marcus. Well, time now for a quick break. When we get back, our final thoughts, and we look ahead to next week's show. Stay with us.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Winston, just one more inning, Grandma.
Ever notice how many things today kids can do without actually moving? A whole lot of things their parents used to do the hard way. So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part, which makes exercise even more important for children. In fact, new research tells us the best time to enhance bone development is during childhood and adolescence. And just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Healthy bones come from healthy habits. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Welcome back to Game On. Well, Marcus, obviously the Capoeira demonstration today, a fun thing, something you might have to check out because I had the luxury of almost getting kicked in the face.
I'm loving seeing these in-studio demonstrations with you. I have a easy time sitting back and just making fun of you off camera. Let's put it that nicely.
Yeah, they get better and better each week, so it's great. Well, that does it for this week's show. Next week, we have more of Game On. If you want to catch up on previous episodes of Game On, go to our website, unlvtv.unlv.edu. I'm Austin Eddy.
And I'm Marcus Paff. Have a good one, Las Vegas.